I remember that moment where my daughter had made the decision that she's going to go to school with a hijab on. And I always thought that moment was going to be exciting and I was going to be happy. And I remember looking at this young girl and just this feeling of dread coming over me.
For the iftars, please.
Now, as a Muslim, I'm very concerned and actually fearful about what's happening now and what the path is forward.
I myself wear the hijab, and I know as an adult that if something happened to me, I could handle it, and I'm ready to take that on. But seeing a young teenager just gave me the chills, and I had to kind of hide my fear from her because I didn't want to stop her, and I wanted her to live her life. But I feel like that moment was kind of ruined for me because of this climate of hate. And it's not fair.
I'm not going to lie. There are certain times whenever I go into the airport, I worry about should I shave or should I not, you know.
The violence that we see in places of worship weren't on our minds as young people, as young children playing.
These are kids who were born here, raised here, and they know nowhere else but here. So for somebody to tell them go back home, for my children, 2 of them, that means, go back to where you came from. Well, that's Houston, Texas, so.
And recently when I went to Tarawih prayer, I saw there's a TV on the women's side where you could see cameras, you could see every part of the mosque. And I was like, whoa.
To be Muslim in America, from my perspective as an African-American Muslim, it means that you sometimes have the triple negative. Sometimes you are, you face racism, sexism, and religious discrimination from being a female, from being Muslim, and from being Black.
I'm a woman, I'm Black, and I'm Muslim. And if you look at that, that's kind of like 3 strikes against me.
It's okay now for people to come out and be hateful. That is an acceptable norm nowadays, especially in social media.
But then in the same token, I refrain from really thinking about that and realize that it's 3 avenues to cause change, to really impact people.
The other side of it is that we're grounded. I feel grounded in the history of Muslims in America, from the African slaves that came over to the continent and carried the tradition of Islam that they had in Africa. So to be Muslim in America, to me, it means to carry on a tradition.
And I'm really hopeful that there are people out there who sees Muslims not as a label, but as regular people like yourself and myself, Nai, who plays soccer, who loves to eat food, and who likes to go out here and there,
So I think being Muslim in America today is feeling anxiety, feeling fear, but at the same time not trying to negotiate your respect.
I think it's pretty simple. I think it's just to exist, right? I think it's to exist and say that I'm here and I'm proud of who I am, and not cower back or not go underneath a rock and say that I am going to wait out the storm.
Being Muslim in America is not something new, but for my generation, it's a way to show strength. It's a way to show courage. It's a way to show camaraderie and to show patience and to show that we can be Muslim, you can be Christian, Jew, Hindu, atheist, and we can still get along.
I think the hardest thing about being Muslim in America is just being Muslim, not changing.
Thank you.